Welcome to Form 1 Mathematics DLP, Chapter 1, Rational Number, Subtopic 1.3, Positive and Negative Fraction. This is the second part of this lesson, so if you have not seen the first part, go ahead and watch the first part of this lesson. Then come back to follow up with this part of the lesson. Shall we start? Alright, in this lesson, you are going to learn how to perform basic computation involving positive and negative fraction, as well as to learn how to solve problem involving positive and negative fraction. Do you still remember BODMAS, bracket, order, divide, multiply, addition, subtract? So because this is going to be more than one operation, we will use BODMAS to calculate the answer for this one. Alright, let's look at example 1. So make sure you have your calculator next to you in order to help you with your calculation. Right. So this question is 1 2 over 3 multiplied with bracket 2 over 5 minus 5 over 6. I'm going to do the manual way. Later I'll teach you how to do it with calculator help, with the help of the calculator. Right, first one, BODMAS says bracket. So we are going to calculate the operation inside this bracket. This bracket have minus, subtract. I'm going to change this fraction to become improper fraction. So 1 multiply 3 plus 2, you get 5 over 3. Multiply. These two doesn't have the same denominator, 2 5 and 5 6. So I'm going to multiply them with 6 because 5 multiply 6 I get 30 and 6 multiply 5 I get 30. Okay, I want to have the same denominator. Make sure that you correctly multiply the numerator. Alright, so 12 alright, so we have 12. Remember, we only minus the numerator, yeah? So 12 minus 25, you get negative 13 over 30. Alright, with the help of your calculator, multiply. For multiply, the numerator will multiply with numerator, denominator will multiply with denominator. Alright, so 5 will multiply with negative 13, we get negative 65. And then 3 will multiply 30, which is 90. Now we are going to check whether we can simplify any of them. According to my knowledge and according to yours, there is 5, there is 0, means that the number can be divided with 5. So negative 65 divided with 5, okay, you get negative 13. And then 90 divided with 5, you get 18, which is like this. In mathematics, once we find we are nearing towards our final answer. Remember the negative that I told you earlier? Negative must be by itself because there is no other operation already. So how do I know when to write negative at the side? When you're already near to your final operation. Or you can also remember there's negative, 18 is positive. So do you still remember negative divide positive, you get negative. So negative 13 over 18. Of course, you don't need to write that far. Alright, so this is your final answer. Now, how do you use calculator to check your answer? Let me erase that one first, the marking that I did just now. Alright, remember this button. So this button we are going to use whenever it involves fraction. So in order for us to enter 1, 2 over 3 into the calculator, you will need to press this button twice. First one is number 1. So 1, and then the button, the fraction button, A, B over C. 2, press again, 3. Now on your calculator screen, you should be getting 1, 2, 3 as like this. Okay, do not panic. The calculator knows. And then next you see multiply. Okay, multiply. So multiply, bracket, and then 2 over 5 minus with 5 over 6, and then you close your bracket and then equal. You should be getting the same answer as the one we calculated manually. Okay. Okay, let's try with the next one. Number 2. Now this time, instead of us changing it manually, we are going to use the calculator to help us with this question. Alright, BODMAS, and I see divide here. Means that these two need to do first. Alright, fraction 5 over 8. We are not going to touch it now, so let's copy that down. Now use your calculator. Okay, so 1 over 3. So it is 1, the button, the fraction button, and then 1, fraction button, and then 3. Okay, and then divide. So divide, bracket, negative 5, fraction 6, close your bracket. Okay, what did you get? Okay, so on your calculator, you will see it is negative 1, something like this, 3. So how you write it is negative 1, 3 over 5. But I do not want to write in this mixed fraction. I want it in improper fraction. Easier for calculation later. So how do I do that? Find the button shift, which is in yellow lettering, and this button again, the fraction button. Now it should change. The fraction answer become negative 8, 5, which is negative 8 over 5 in writing. So I'm going to write it in our step. Right, next will be 5 over 8 plus negative 8 over 5. Okay, use your calculator to help you, or you can manually change the denominator so that it is the same. Now if you have calculator ready, I'm sure that you prefer the faster way. Okay, you will get negative 39 over 40. Alright, do you want to try this question on your own? Alright, pause the video, try it, and then come back and check your answer. Okay, so we got divide here. If you remember, in primary school, whenever there's divide in fraction, we're going to change them to multiply. And then what happens to the fraction? It is inverse. Right? So we are going to do the same thing. We are still going to do the first thing, which is multiply. When there is negative but there's no bracket, okay, you can always add a bracket at the front. It is important for you to add bracket at the front because calculator can easily make it as a different thing. Okay, because actually the negative belongs to the fraction, all of the fraction, not just the numerator. So you should get 3 over 4 plus negative 1 over 6. Right, you can use your calculator to calculate. If you press correctly, the final answer should be 7 over 12. Okay, now let's look at how to solve problem involving fraction. Alright, for this type of question, there is no need to be afraid of the long question. Did you know that the longer the question is actually easier to answer? In mathematics, it is the opposite of long means difficult. So if the question is fairly short, actually what it wants you to find is rather difficult. So let's look at this question. A mathematics quiz contains 20 questions. A score of 2 marks is awarded for every correct answer, and a score of negative 1 over 2 mark is given for every incorrect answer. Mei Ling participated in the quiz and answered all the questions. Her score for the incorrect answer is negative 4. What was the total score Mei Ling obtained in the quiz? Now let's look at what is the information given. We know that this quiz has 20 questions. If you get correct, you get 2 marks. If you get incorrect, you get negative 1/2. Okay, incorrect means wrong. And Mei Ling participated in this quiz and answered all 20 questions. Now, the next information given was her score for the incorrect answer is negative 4. So now we want to see what is the total score. Right, so I have highlighted all the information. Now let's look at how to solve this question. Number 1, we know that the score for the incorrect answer is negative 4. So we want to know from that negative 4, how many incorrect questions. Okay, I know that one wrong question, the score is negative 1/2. So actually, how many wrong question equals to negative 4? You can think like this. So one question is negative 1/2. So I should know, I want to know negative 1/2 multiplied by how many questions in order for me to get the score of negative 4. Okay. So we know that is actually negative 4 divided with negative 1/2, or negative 1/2 multiply 8 to get negative 4. So I know that there is 8 questions. Let's look. 8 incorrect question. Okay. From that 8 incorrect question means that the numbers of correct question will be 20 minus 8. Okay, so we get 12. So her total score will be, I know that she got 12. Okay, 12 correct one, and each one is awarded with 2. Okay, plus with, I know that she got 8. Okay, she got the negative 4 score for the incorrect answer. Alright, so if you correctly multiply, will be 24 plus negative 4. So it's 24, positive multiply negative, minus 4, and finally her score is 20. If you have any question for this type of problem solving, you can actually ask me in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Let's look at another problem solving. Okay, in this question, container A contains 16 milliliter of water. A 3/8 of the water in container B is poured into container A. Alright, 5/12 of the water in container A is then poured into an empty container C. If container C contains 45 ml of water now, find the volume of the water in container B. So first step, identify the given information. From this information, I know that A already had 60 milliliter of water. And then from container B, okay, 3/8 water is poured into container A. And then from that total of the water that is in the container A now, 5/12 of it is poured into an empty container C. So assuming that water is 45 ml, we want to find what is the volume in container B. So if I use picture for you to understand, alright, forgive my weird usual looking of container. So let's say this is B, A, and let's not do that. B, A, and C. Okay, so inside here is actually already have 60 ml, okay, milliliter of water. And then let's say this is 3/8 of water in container B is poured into container A. So this much is poured. Now from that all total, this much, okay, is gonna pour into C, which is 5/12, which is 45 ml. So I want to see, actually this one is how much. So from this information, I know that 5 parts of the water is equal to 45 ml. So container C, okay, the fraction is 5/12, means that there are 6 parts which is missing. There are 7 parts which is missing. But I don't want to find that 7 empty part. I want to find what is the volume of container C. Okay, I want to find the volume of container C. So I know there are 12 parts. Out of the 5, multiply with 45. Or how about if we do it like this? Okay, let me explain. You can also do it like this. I know 5 parts of the water is 45 ml. Okay, so how much will be 1 part? So it will be 45 divided with 5, okay, which is 9. So I know it's 5/12, means that this container contains total of 12 parts. So you can use 12 parts multiply with 9. Okay, 12 parts multiply with 9, so the total is 108 ml. Still the same. Okay, either way. Okay, next one, we want to find okay, so 5/12 is 45 ml. The next one we want to find is how much of the 3/8 of the container is. Oh, sorry, this is container A. The volume of water in container A. Alright, so I know that, okay, now the total water in container A is 108 ml. So I want to find how much of that is 3 of N8. Okay, so I want to know what is 3/8 of the volume poured into container A from container B. Right? So 108 ml, which was the total, minus with the initial 60 ml. Okay, initial 60 ml. So now we got 48 ml. So we'll do the same thing. I know that 3 part. You can do this one. 3 part is equal to 48 ml. So 1 part will be 48 divided with 3, which is 16 ml. Okay, so from that 16 ml, I know that the total volume of container B is 8 part. So total volume of container B, container B is the 8 part multiplied with 16. Alright, so you should get 128 ml. Okay, we try one more question. Okay, Haslina has 9 1/4 of ribbon. Brenda's ribbon is 5/12 meter longer than Haslina's ribbon. Celine's ribbon is 1 1/3 of the total length of Halina's and Brenda's ribbon. How long is Celine's ribbon? Alright, so let's look at what is the given information. Number 1, we know that the length of Haslina ribbon is 9 1/4 long, and Brenda's ribbon is 4 5/12 longer than Haslina. So we need to add on top of Haslina. Then the third person, Celine, the ribbon is 1 1/3 of the total length of the both of them added together. So how long is Celine's ribbon? So we got a few processes that we need to do. First one, we need to know how long is Brenda's ribbon. Length of Brenda's ribbon. Alright, so it's very simple. It says longer. So what we need to do is we add on to Haslina's ribbon, which is 9 1/4, plus the length that it is longer, which is 4 5/12. Here you can use your calculator and calculate it straight away, or you can change them so that it is easier for you to calculate. You have a tool that you can use. We might as well use that tool. So how much did you get? Alright, Right, so if you correctly calculate, it should be 13 and 2/3 meter. Now that's the length of Brenda's ribbon. Okay. The second one that we need to find out is how long is Celine's ribbon. So it says here total length. Okay, so we need to find out the total length from Haslina and Brenda. So I know that Haslina has 9 1/4 meter, plus with the length that we have just learned from Brenda, which is 13 and 2/3. So we're going to total these two together. Alright, so you get 22 meter and 11/12 meter. So this one is a total of both of them together. So Celine's one is only 1/3 of it. So Celine's ribbon. Okay, we only want this one is 4/3 of the ribbon. So it's 22, 11, 12 multiply with 1/3. Okay, so did you get 35/9 meter? Right, so if you did, congratulations, you have just solved the length of Celine's ribbon. Okay, so this is how we go and find. So first step is you must read the question, no matter how long is the question. First, proofread it. Second, find out what is the given information. And if you're like me, I would use highlighter, and sometimes I would use diagram to help understand the question. And then we look at what is the problem. So every problem comes from whatever information is given. So use the information given, use the tool that you have, then we answer the question. So okay, so to strengthen your understanding, right, try these following exercises that you can find in your textbook. And I'll see you in my next lesson. Stay safe. Goodbye.